Hello everybody, it's your host Wheel Trouble, and this is Myst 4 Revelation, Episode 10. We are in Serenia. As you can see, we are following in Yisha's footsteps. Alright. So we have the linking book on the ground. Let's try to pick it up here. Okay, that was a mistake. I wanted to pick the book up, not just straight link, but okay. Anyway, as I was saying, this is episode 10. We're actually almost done with the game. There's only a couple more episodes after this. And I'm going to experiment with a choose-your-own-adventure style. Got the idea from Hasbro. Hasbro was initially doing it as little clickable picture windows on the video, which was a really cool idea. However, it stopped working on pretty much all of my desktop browsers, and I could only do that little trick through my phone. So what I'm thinking of doing is, when the time comes, I'm just going to put little links in the description and let you guys choose your own adventure from there. So leave a comment below, let me know what you think. This is interesting. This is not the place I expected to link to. This was where we were in Myst 3. See? Looks awfully familiar. Odd that Yisha could see herself as a baby. Sorry, if I'm a little quiet, I'm trying to fight back a sneeze. So let's go back into this room we had where Relishon was stolen. And looks a lot better now, a little less crispy. Much more tidy, too. Very interesting. And we have a book here. Kind of afraid to touch it now, you know? And what do we have here? Nothing really. Okay, well, let's... Okay, so that's the link back to Serenia. Don't quite want to take that yet, though. Let's explore a little bit. There surely must be a reason they tucked all this here, so... We have a book. Let's get some reading done, shall we?
The first time I placed my hand on Serenia's linking panel, I remember thinking, this age will be unlike any I've journeyed to so far. And it was. The sky was crisp and clear. The rivers and waterfalls sparkled like diamonds. Even the worn paths threading through the canopies of stone took my breath away. I met a group of women who told me they had been expecting me, and as we talked late into the evening, they did seem to know a lot about me. Yet the more they explained why, the more impossible this story seemed. Of course, Catherine's ages have always struck me as impossible. Why should this one have been different? One of the stories the Protectors told me. For that is what they called themselves, moves me to this day. Many lifetimes ago, a child from the village contracted a fever and died. His parents, who had loved him very much, decided to bury him under a waterfall and built a balloon to take him there. The parents' grief was so strong, however, that when they landed their balloon, they could only carry the child a short way. So they set him down beside a giant flower and slept. All night, the mother's tears never stopped flowing. Eventually, they sank through the ground and bathed the flower's roots. Moved by the tears, the flower told the parents to carry their child into her epistle. She would preserve his memories so they could visit him whenever they wished. Then the flower passed one of the tears back through her roots, turning it into a container to hold memories, and the father dove underwater to collect it. And that is how the memory chamber first displayed her power to the Serenians. Having read Catherine's descriptive book, I realized that the plant the Protectors called the memory chamber is but the fruiting body of a massive fungus. Like any fungus, it recycles dead organic material into nutrients. In this case, filled memory globes. Since Yisha has recently asked to see Serenia, I will share this explanation with her, as I did her brothers when they were her age. Yet I cannot help thinking that my scientific understanding of Serenia's pales in comparison to the Protector's simple tale. I had not fully realized how many years have passed since I visited this age. So when I stepped out of the linking cave with Yisha, I was pleased to see only a little has changed. A new group of women have replaced the protectors I knew, but they seemed to be as friendly as the first. Yisha took an immediate liking to the one called Anya, and as we made our plans to spend more time here in the future, I felt confident our relationship with these women would be mutually beneficial. After an absence of several weeks, we returned to Serenia last night. Catherine agreed to accompany us, so we will stay for a week or more. This morning, I took advantage of Catherine's presence to re-explore alone. My route soon took me beyond Serenia's current memory chamber to the old abandoned flower which had served the village centuries ago. The man-made edifice surrounding the chamber looked much the same as I remembered, although the flower itself was in far worse state of decay. I tried opening the door to explore inside, but found it locked. Just as well. 30 years ago, the protectors told me how the delicate inner heart of the chamber emits a strong fragrance as part of its reproductive cycle. The closer the chamber gets to maturation, the more toxic this gas becomes, forcing the protectors to find a new flower for their use. No doubt the collected fumes inside the original chamber would have made it impossible for me to survive there very long. Catherine says I should have seen it coming, but this morning, Yisha asked permission to meet Serenia's ancestors. I tried to explain that the place the protectors called Dream is not real. How can it be? But she insists on finding out for herself. So what am I to do? I suppose it will do no harm to let her try. From what Anya told me, it should take several months for Yisha to learn how to dream. And it has certainly been a while since I've had enough free time to concentrate on the crystal viewer's attachment. Keeping my inquisitive daughter occupied may end up being beneficial for us all. I cannot believe how quickly time has flown. Today we attended a ceremony on Serenia's celebrating Yisha's mastery of their customs. I must admit, although my doubts about the dream realm remain, seeing my daughter's pride as she received the protector's necklace made it all seem worthwhile. Yisha said something strange during our writing lesson today. She thought it was sad that Catherine rarely writes anymore, and asked if we should explain that just because someone dies after visiting an age doesn't mean the age's writer is responsible. I knew immediately she was talking about my grandmother. Yet Catherine and I have never fully described Anna's death, so how she knew this information is a mystery. When I asked, she said her necklace had said something while she was holding Anna's picture. The answer was completely unsatisfactory. Yet I must admit, Yisha had displayed an uncanny knowledge of things she never witnessed ever since receiving the Protector's gift. I'd like to examine this necklace more closely, but at the moment the situation with Cirrus and Achenar takes precedence. Perhaps after my friend leaves us tomorrow.
Okay, so this is all very recent. Since the journal basically says that the last entry is the day before we showed up. So we could actually probably pinpoint a date if I wanted to go back and cared enough. But it really doesn't make a difference here. Let's go ahead and explore a little bit more, see what we can find. See what little tidbits we can glean. We have these pictures that are restored. Ooh, glowy crystal.
Atris, I thought you were going to redesign this room, but it looks just like it did before the fire.
Not just like it did, my love. Look, the table is different.
The table is different. That Atris, you're a man after my own heart. Look, I redesigned. I added one piece. Thank you. Mailing it in. Hi, Savidro. I don't feel bad talking through this scene since we've seen it before. I just kind of copy-pasted it right in here. I'm not really sure why. Nifty little touch there, I suppose. Has nothing to do with the actual scene. telescope there. I guess this is where he focuses on his initial project. So this is actually just flat out Atris' study still. So he has a study, his observatory, getting a lovely walking tour. We've explored pretty much everything in this room that I can figure. This little crystal project is gone from earlier. So let's go back out onto the patio and do a little bit of exploring out here. And remember this door from before where we couldn't follow Atris? Let's go ahead. So we got a stone hallway. This little spinny lock thing. Open the door, please. We have a cutscene for an opening door. And we're back in the bug chamber. So we've essentially unlocked our way around all of Tomana now. Not really sure why this area was locked, other than to keep us out of Serenia until it was time. Give them a chance to move the plot along. Not a bad idea, I suppose. Okay. So, since we've explored pretty much everything we can around here, let's go ahead and make our way back to Serenia and start exploring the island proper. And away we go. Lovely little overview of all the paths we'll be running. So we learned from the book that people managed to capture the memories of their dead ancestors through the help of a fungus, so the society's built a symbiotic relationship with the mushrooms, so to speak, that grow wild here. So that'll be an interesting thing to see. And we also know Atris didn't write this age, so we can't accuse him of any of the oddities. This is sort of an inside the mind of Catherine sort of thing. So we have bubbles, flying wisps. That's their equivalent of birds. Very odd looking things, aren't they? Okay. Make our way through a little bit still. Okay, we have a water wheel. So that tells me that there's a pump of some kind we're going to have to deal with. Some kind of hydropower. Nice little streams. This Akanar? Let's follow him. Okay, so we've lost his trail. So we've got a number of different places this path divides. Fire. Curious. And it's just sitting there burning. Nothing. Okay, whatever. And we have little floaty cotton balls? Oh, we can interact with these things. Interesting. So we have fire, cotton balls, little floaty bubbles. This place is interesting. I'm wondering how this fits into a puzzle, because apparently this is... The fire started to die down when we held the little puffball at it. Fire's afraid of puffballs. Okay, good to know. Cutscene.
I was starting to worry about you. In the dream, you always arrived before third bell had rung. Welcome to Serenia. I am Anya, one of 6 now serving as protector here. You may find this hard to believe, but my sisters and I dreamed you would be coming. You're searching for Yisha. I fear she may be in trouble, but we have not seen her since we gave her the necklace 2 weeks ago. I will gather my sisters to help find her. In the meantime, you should consult the memory chamber. She always knows more about what's going on in this land than we do. Follow the ceremonial alley to her doors and see what insight she has to provide.
Okay, so that's Anya, Yisha's friend. The ceremony with this necklace was only 2 weeks ago, so that was recent, and there's third bell. 2. Is the 3rd happening? Okay. There's 3. Okay. Now, let's make our way across. This area is beautiful. And we have some kind of flower thing, and a submarine with Cirrus. This cannot go well. He had to have seen us. Yep. Okay, can I run through the back and chase him? Okay, so he made himself some bombs. No bueno, that submarine's no good now. So that explains how he got out of the cavern. And cutscene.
Well, this is the most unique funeral I've ever attended.
This is important. I want to see if the ceremony is somehow influencing the transfer.
Okay, so we have Cirrus and Akinar. Akinar bored to tears, Cirrus treating it like one big science experiment. Makes sense, though, because it kind of is, given the tale. Reproducibility and all that. Another water wheel, beautiful waterfall, and the broken submarine. And another cutscene.
Use their harvester? Are you crazy? What if somebody notices?
You think you can hold your breath long enough? Go right ahead. But we can't begin the tests without at least a few empty memory globes, which only grow down there.
Fine. But you're stealing the filled ones if we need them.
Okay, so Cirrus and Akinar are planning some grave robbing. And apparently these are harvesters. That's how the Serenians collect the memories that the fungus releases. The memory chamber thing. And this must be the memory chamber. So that's the center. Interesting. Not sure we can do anything with that. Let's go ahead and explore around in here since there's so much that goes into it. This is obviously man-made. Okay, so Yisha tied up. Akinar stealing something. Not sure what that thing is. We have plot. That must be a memory orb. Frankie Yisha? Very odd. And stairs. Let's go ahead and make our way up. And looks like just a stone slab, a gigantic rock bed. So what do we do? Of course we're going to lay down in it. Can't seem to do anything, but the entire world has turned sideways. Let's go ahead and just get up and keep exploring. Forward, please. There we go. Ugh. Well, we've seen that sight. We know Yisha's in trouble. We know Cirrus and Akinar are both in on this, whatever's going on. But there were no signs of struggle or machinery.
What happened?
Cutscene. Oh, sorry.
This is terrible. How are we supposed to maintain contact with the ancestors if we can't harvest any globes? Forgive me. I've seen your face so often in dream, I forget you're still a stranger here. You've been inside the memory chamber. You've seen the colorful lights crowning her walls. These are the memories of my people, taken from their bodies after their spirits moved on. In Serenia, the memory chamber stores our memories so that future generations can still visit us and dream. Empty globes for storing our memories are formed underwater, and we gather them using the harvester. So if I'm unable to fix it, I must see how bad the damage is. Oh, I was supposed to tell you, a few of my sisters have gathered in the Hall of Spirits to dream. If you go there after they've awakened, you might be able to learn more about what happened to Yisha.
Oh.
Good luck. Thanks,
and you're cute. Can you come home with me? Anyway, alright, so we need to find the Hall of the Ancestors or Dreaming Place, whatever, when the sisters wake up. We haven't really met much of anybody, just two people. So we have this bridge. Let's see where this goes to. There's a hand just sitting there. Weird. Okay. I do like the music for this age. It's very meditative. Another hand. And what looks like gigantic docking rods?
You mean you have to signal somebody every time you want to go home? Why don't you just sleep here?
Because we have families too, you know. And the ones who are still alive sleep in the village.
Okay, so this place is strictly ceremonial. That must be the old flower. So, toxic in there. We have another little altar thingy. As we try to make our way. Another cutscene.
Wait, please. Listen to me. Okay. It doesn't look good. I admit it, but it's not what you think. I'm just taking it for a little while. Borrowing it, so to speak. It's the plan. Cirrus's plan. He's got Yisha. I just want to stop him. He's a nutcase. He's here. And don't let Father come here, or you'll screw up everything. Find my journal. The one from 20 years ago. Cirrus doesn't even know that I kept one. I hid it in a stone pillar in the forest near where two rivers are crossing. It'll explain everything. Cirrus is mad. He's gonna kill Father. And I've got to stop him.
Okay, so we see the stolen object, so that what we saw in the memory chamber must have been recent. Can't cross, so that explains why we couldn't chase him. Not sure what that did. Okay, whatever. Alright, so let's see what's over here. Ooh, this is familiar. Aw, Mangries. That's all the hint it gives us. It doesn't actually tell us what to do. So, good thing we took that picture, right? 4 across on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. And pop it on the nose. That is the world's oddest lock. Okay. So, Akinar claims that Sirius is trying to kill Atris. Nothing new there. And we've kind of seen that that's a common idea. Some went babbling about some sort of plan. I'm not sure what the deal is with that. Let's see, what else do we know? Sirius has Yisha. And Akinar warned us not to bring Atris here. So, not a clue. Ooh, another person.
There you are. My sisters say you are a friend. But if that is true, why does everything fall apart when you are here? Lifestone is missing. Someone diverted the watercourse and took it out of the road chamber. You are a stranger here. You cannot begin to imagine the threat this poses to my people. The memory chamber needs that stone to survive. It nourishes her, keeps her strong and healthy, so she can collect our memories after we die. Without it, we may never see our loved ones again. I must alert the village. There are more stones in the Southern Hills, but it takes time to find them. If you truly are a friend, you will go to the Hall of Spirits and alert my sisters. Although, if they're still traveling in Dream, they may already know.
The people in this age are weird. Very freaking weird. Saw a balloon flying in the distance. That was neat. Okay. A couple of them. Alright, back at the central area. Let's go ahead and see what's in here. I'm going to assume this must be the chamber. There's a person in there. Floaty rocks. That's right, Catherine's age. Or one of her ages. Hi, weird people. Okay. Cutscene. Weird cutscene.
Do not be afraid. My sisters and I can speak with you now. Anya told us you needed help. So while you were exploring this physical manifestation of Serenia, we decided to travel her mirror realm. A world in which our ancestors have great power, and which we call Dream. We asked the ancestors to show us what happened to Yisha, but the things they revealed did not make any sense. We think it's because the message is intended for you. This disturbed us, for it means you must travel to Dream, something which you must never do without a spirit guide. Normally, finding the guide best suited to your true nature takes time. But we have decided to help by examining the weave of your past actions. Please, place your hand on the cloth. It will allow us to know which guide you must seek.
Interesting that the room has changed into this weird ebb and flow sort of thing, and her weird metal mask just kind of disappeared. And there it is again. Weird droplet thing. Fire, water. This is odd. Okay. Drops onto the clock thingy. And we touch it. Bubbles.
A child of water, or so the weave shows. You appreciate the beauty and richness of life around you. You are confident in your ability to succeed, but willing to seek help when answers seem elusive. You must seek a water guide to accompany you. Go to the stone forest and seek him in the pools he likes to inhabit. The mark you now bear in you will gain his attention. Be carrying the offering that most pleases his senses, and he should agree to accompany you in dream. There is only one such offering. Once you have succeeded, proceed to the memory chamber. Zanika will be waiting for you there. This cloth is now yours to keep. Do with it as you will.
Very odd. Anyway, so we need to get bubbles for the water spirit, and we've been running quite a while now, so we'll pick that up in the next episode. We also need to find Akinar's journal, so that we can see what his little notes are from 20 years ago. And let's see what this bright shiny light at the end of the tunnel does for us. Okay, and the area goes back to normal and all the women disappear. Just like my love life. Anyway, see you guys in the next episode. Wheel Trouble out.